there is a hidden cry buried inside your cat's purr, a sound tuned to almost the exact frequency of a human baby crying. Scientists found it, recorded it, and proved that most of us respond to it without ever knowing why. And once you understand what your cat is really doing when they purr at you at 5 in the morning, you will never hear that sound the same way again. Because your cat is not just making noise. Your cat is talking to you very deliberately in a language they invented for one listener in the whole world, you. And if you misread it, which most owners do, you could be missing messages they have been giving you every single day. So stay with me, because by the end you will be able to decode almost every sound your cat makes. And there is one change in that voice near the end that every cat owner needs to catch early. Plus a 10-second trick you can try tonight that almost nobody knows. Let's start with something strange. Your cat did not develop meowing for other cats. They developed it for you. Most people assume meowing is just how cats talk, end of story. But adult cats almost never meow to each other in the wild. Researchers have documented this for years. Feral cats, the ones who grow up without humans, meow far less than house cats, and when they do, it is mostly during kittenhood. The constant meowing you hear all day is not how their species communicates. It is how they communicate with you. When cats were first domesticated around 10,000 years ago, they were solitary hunters. They used scent, body language, and rubbing to talk to other cats. But then humans arrived and cats noticed something. We do not speak cat. We are slow, we get distracted, we look the wrong way. So they built a brand new vocal channel to break through to us. That little meow is not random. It is a tool your cat evolved to reach across species and talk straight to a human heart. Now here is where it gets useful. Each sound your cat makes is a different message. Most owners think a meow is just a meow. It is not. Your cat has an entire vocabulary, and once you start paying attention, you can actually hear it. The short, soft meow is usually a greeting, a quick hello. You're home, I see you. The long, drawn-out meow is almost always a request. Feed me, open the door, let me in. The mid-pitched meow is often a complaint. And the high-pitched, sharp meow can mean pain, surprise, or anger. Then there are the sounds people forget, are not even technically meows. The chirp, that little staccato sound your cat makes watching birds or greeting you, comes straight from mother and kitten communication. Mama cats chirp to call their kittens. So when your cat chirps at you, they are using one of the most affectionate sounds they own. The trill, that soft rolling sound between a meow and a purr, is another friendly greeting and almost always a sign of trust. The yowl is longer and mournful. It can mean distress, confusion, or mating. And the hiss, the growl, the spit, those are not conversation, those are warnings. Back off, I am uncomfortable. I am done. Respect them, because a hiss is almost always the last step after signals you missed. But here's the part that surprises even lifelong cat owners. Your cat is not speaking generic cat. They built a private vocabulary just for you. Researchers studying cat vocalizations found that domestic cats develop unique vocal patterns with their specific humans. Your cat figures out by trial and error which sounds get a reaction from you. If a certain meow gets you to open the food cupboard, they file it away. If a particular trill makes you reach down and pet them, that one gets used more. Over months and years, they build a vocabulary that works specifically on you. Another cat in another home would build a completely different one for that person. And this is why so many of you have full conversations with your cat. You say something, they meow back, you answer, they answer again. That is not your imagination. To your cat, that back and forth is real social bonding. So let me ask you the question thousands of cat owners are a little shy to admit. Do you meow back at your cat? Because if you do, your cat noticed a long time ago and they have been quietly reinforcing that little ritual with you ever since. Tell me in the comments, honestly, how many of you actually meow back? Now for the sound I promised you at the very beginning, the purr. Everyone knows cats purr when they are happy. But the truth is much stranger. In 2009, Dr. Karen McComb at the University of Sussex published a study in the journal Current Biology that changed how we understand purring. Her team noticed that when cats wanted food, their purr sounded subtly different from when they were simply relaxed. So they recorded both and analyzed the frequencies. What they found was remarkable. Hidden inside the "I want something" purr was a high-frequency cry in roughly the same range as a human baby's cry. They called it the solicitation purr. When they played both purrs to people, even people who had never owned a cat, rated the solicitation purr as more urgent and less pleasant. That hidden cry triggers something deep in the human brain. We are wired to respond to a baby crying, and your cat has essentially learned to fold that exact signal into an otherwise soothing sound. This is not your cat plotting against you, but over thousands of years beside us, cats evolved to hit the precise frequency that gets a human to act. So the next time your cat wakes you at 5 in the morning purring against your face, remember, that is not only affection, that is a precision instrument aimed lovingly at you. Let's slow down for a gentler one because not every message is a demand. Some are just your cat keeping track of you. Pay attention to when your cat talks the most and you will notice it is not random at all. It is almost surgical. The moment you walk into the kitchen. The second you sit up in bed. The exact hour food usually appears. So many of you know this feeling. Your cat comes to find you and tells you in their own voice that it is time for bed. Or they are already waiting at the door, meowing before your key is even in the lock. That is not a coincidence, and it is not magic. Your cat has memorized your entire routine from the alarm to the coffee maker and matched their voice to the moments most likely to bring food attention or affection. To you, it feels like your cat just knows. To them, it is a finely tuned system. They have been running on you faithfully for years. And that brings us to the sound that matters most, because it is the one thing on this whole list that can quietly warn you something is wrong. Before that, remember, this goes both ways. Your cat is not only talking. They are listening and picking up far more from your voice than you think. Studies show cats can tell their owner's voice from a stranger's even when both are calling their name. They respond differently to your tone, too. A high, soft, playful voice draws them in. A low, harsh voice makes them cautious. Your cat does not understand your words the way another person would, but they read your emotional tone perfectly. That is why cats so often seem to know when you are sad or stressed. They are not psychic. They are catching the real shift in your voice, your breathing, your posture. The way you sound when you are hurting is different from when you are calm, and your cat has been studying those patterns since the day they moved in. So when they look up and meow back at you, they are answering what they hear inside you, which is exactly why this last one matters so much. What does it mean when a cat who has always been chatty suddenly goes silent, or a quiet cat starts yowling at all hours? Cats are creatures of pattern. When the voice changes in a lasting, noticeable way, they are trying to tell you something important, and too many people miss it until it is too late. Sometimes the reason is medical. Excessive vocalizing in older cats is a classic sign of hyperthyroidism, a common but treatable condition. Loud, repetitive nighttime yowling in senior cats can point to cognitive decline, similar to dementia in people. It can also mean hearing loss, which makes a cat vocalize louder because they cannot hear themselves clearly. Sudden hoarseness can signal respiratory trouble, and a normally talkative cat going completely silent can mean pain or illness. One owner shared how their cat got sick and made no sound for days until finally letting out the tiniest, most scraggly, raspy little meow. That silence was the message. Sometimes the reason is emotional. Cats grieve. They notice when a companion human or animal is gone, and a cat who suddenly stops talking after a loss is not being moody. They are processing, so watch for it. If the meows that used to greet you at the door stop coming, that is not nothing. That is your cat telling you to look closer. Trust it, and when something feels off, get them to a vet. Before you go, here is that 10-second trick I promised. Tonight when you walk through the door, do not just say hi. Give your cat one short, soft, rising meow first before they speak. Keep it gentle and high, the way they greet you, not low and flat. Many cats will actually answer back because you have opened the conversation in their own language instead of waiting for them to start it. Do it at the same moment each day by the door or before their meal. Within a week, you may notice your cat meeting you there ready to reply. Try it and watch how they answer. Because that little voice, that meow, that chirp, that trill you have grown so used to was never just noise. It was your cat talking to you all along, and it always deserved to be heard. If this helped you understand your cat a little better, subscribe and stay with us, because next time we are decoding what your cat is telling you with their tail. And tonight, before anything else, go find your cat and really listen. They have been talking to you this whole time,